Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about how I actually make my patterns, and it's a little bit different than what a lot of other people do, but it makes a lot of sense whenever we talk about it. I mean, a lot of people aren't going to be doing this, a lot of people are going to stick to the good old-fashioned use cardboard boxes from like cereal boxes or whatever. Me, I use a CAD program. And no, this doesn't go into a laser cutter or anything of that nature, I still cut everything by hand. And what I have here is Shaper 3D, and these are the basis for my wallets. I actually use a modular sort of system setup here, especially with the patterns. Like example, this pattern right here, I can get the dimensions out for the one of the slots, another one of the slots, and just work on it from there. And here we go. Two different side slots right here. This one's vertical, this one's not. This one just has a money slab right there. I actually reverse engineered these from using the actual wallets. Like this right here, I just took a micrometer to it and, measured out, okay, how much did I do? Because these designs are actually quite old, because I tried my hand at making a leather shop forever ago whenever I was doing a holster design. Like, yeah, this shell Cordovan wallet that I got, it's actually quite old. And so I'm actually taking a lot of the old designs and I'm just transferring it into here. Shaper 3D. And so, here we go. I designed them in here. Now, you notice I got a lot of straight edges here. Well, I have certain other tools that I utilize to make sure that my edges are perfectly round. A dime. Straight up, I got a dime, always on hand, and that's how I decide how to get the circumference that I want on those whenever it comes time to actually cut that. So I don't really care about, having a sharp edge here. However, right here, as you notice here on this little inside pocket here and in here, I got it as 5 millimeters, which is perfectly okay. Because what I use there is I use a punch for my corners instead. And that's how I get my perfect edges there. Now, this right here, this design, I only got 2 stitch lines right here and right here. I don't even have to worry about that. I just remember that it's always 4 millimeters. And cut off the excess. So, there you go. There's that. I take the 3D models that I export from here, and then I put that into Prusa Slicer. Also, if any of you like the brand, want to get into 3D printing, the absolute best brand, though also the most expensive, is Prusa, in my opinion. Bamboo Labs, there are some reasons that, for legal reasons, I am not going to get into why I don't use them, though they are the second best choice. Soval, another good choice. I got an expensive $1,000 3D printer behind me that's a Voron. So I will use both the Prusa and the Voron to work on these. I got a couple more 3D printers in here, but I'm not really going to talk about that. And then I will 3D print each individual pattern piece. Now, I would have things wrote down on this. However, my permanent markers died, so I'm going to have to go to the store tomorrow and get some. But the only con to this particular method is you have to know how to operate a 3D printer. And of course, if I wanted to, I could actually take part. Okay, where is that? Where is that? Where is that? Add part, cylinder slab, text. Emboss text. Yep. And slice now. You see, it's right there on the top. Or we can go back, and because that particular pattern right here, it's supposed to be flippable. If I was to flip that over, it would not be... Yeah, it'd scuff the leather. So how do you do that otherwise? Yep. Click on cut. Now you see it goes in. So how do you keep that from leaving marks? You don't put too much pressure on that area. It's that simple. But along with that, I'm also experimenting with maker marks. Because right now, we do not have the money to actually have one of these things like legitimately made. So, there's that. I know several different companies, but I need to get some product out now. We're in a hurry for, well, reasons. Anyways, there's my interesting way of making patterns. But on the topic of what do you do if your patterns aren't exactly correct, you go back into the CAD program and you fix it. It's that simple. But there you go. Like, share, and subscribe.